Down at the 6 o'clock position on Metropolis, we have our Red Terran player from MVP winning the last game from them, trying to tie things up. It is Dream. And his opponent at the 12 o'clock position from Team SEV Life, our Blue Zerg player trying to put TSL just one game away from advancing to face Team Liquid in the next round. It is Symbol.
Yep, so we'll have to see if Symbol can succeed where his teammate Hyun failed. And he's got a good chance to do that. It's a good map for Zerg. It's nice and big, nice and open. You've got two Xel'Naga towers in the middle there that you can see nearly every, well, basically every running path that there is to run on this map. And like you mentioned before the match, there's a lot of air to move through with Mutalisks and things like that too. You can get Overlords in position to watch for drops in a place where they're not too vulnerable. And so yeah, Symbol making a good map choice here. Probably not going to see that 3-hatch before pool. I feel like that's maybe a little bit more dangerous to do on this map, especially because this is actually a map that Terran players have done like proxy 11 racks fairly often on in the past, but we'll have to see what he decides.
Okay, well, we'll see if Symbol especially decides to go down the route that Hyun did as well with quick 3 hatcheries, depending on what he sees here. Looks like he does have that early drone scout coming out to pick up on what Dream is planning on doing, and Dream planning on going command center first again.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I mean, it's a big map. Why not? All you need to do is pull another SCV to make sure that the harassing drone doesn't harass you too hard. And it's going to be a pretty simple matter for him to do that. Now, with this command center first, we may actually see our Zerg player take that 3rd hatch before everything else. At this point, you definitely can. And we'll have to see if he does. I keep waiting for that little blue drone dot to move out of the main to head to that 3rd.
Probably will happen here in just a second. So
it's going to be a pull, though. Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
Symbol playing standard. Nothing wrong with that at all. You can try to punish this sort of thing, too, if you are a Zerg player. Zerg players have been taking, if he takes a gas in the next couple seconds here, I'm guessing that's going to be because he wants to punish this command center first from Dream, hit him when he doesn't have a lot of units out early on. But we could just as easily see him go for the 4-queen build or even like 6 queens again on this map as well.
Boom! Dead drone. That's what you get for trying to harass.
Whoops.
Yeah, and Symbol does have a little bit of resources saved up. Of course, it looks like he's going to get a couple of queens here. 4-queen, as we mentioned, so strong on this map as well, being able to lock down these running paths. Even though there's a lot of attack paths here, they're not terribly wide, so just a couple well-placed creep tumors are able to clog up the entire path there. So 4-queen, 6-queen, really, really powerful here.
Yeah, definitely. And on a map like this, too, you do see Terrans go Banshees every once in a while. So those extra queens, if you decide to do that, are nice in that case, too. It's not going to be Banshees this time around. We see Symbol with 2 barracks really quickly, which is kind of interesting. We'll have to see how much marine pressure he wants to put on his opponent here. And I kind of feel, too, that this could be a precursor to something a little bit different from Dream, a little bit outside the norm.
Well, we'll certainly find out here as Dream is double producing his Marines for now, but he's got enough for a 3rd command center very, very soon, which I assume that's what he's saving up for.
Yep,
yeah, there it is. So 3rd command center, no gas coming out of him quite yet. Symbol, on the other hand, 2 gas being taken right now.
Yeah, this could be 2 base Muta into a very safe 3rd. That's going to allow him to really put the hurt on his opponent if he wants to, just because Dream is not going to have a ton of anti-air at that point. And I'm curious to see, he's got 1 refinery started, and there's the 2nd one right there. Okay, so he will have gas to start getting upgrades and higher tech fairly soon, but Symbol's definitely got a bit of a lead on him technologically.
Okay, well, first few Marines are coming out now, and yeah, Symbol getting gas at a pretty good clip at the moment. Could decide to take his 3rd at about the same time that he grabs Lair and Zergling speed as well, but doesn't look like he has the intention to do so quite yet. A lot more drones on the way now.
Okay.
There's Zergling speed.
Yeah, there's Zergling speed. I wonder if it's going to be a Roach Warren or if he's going to go up to Lair at this point. Roach Warren, yep. Okay, so now we know what he's going to do. He's going to put a big-time Roachling attack on his opponent here. The question is, you know, he's going to need a few units to defend against this little pressure from Dream here.
But
sorry,
my apologies. But he doesn't know at the moment that this is a 2 barracks build. He's going to have a lot more Marines out than he normally would. Actually, the Marines are running up right now, so all the queens are pulled off the line, and these Marines are going to have to run away. Still, though, it's certainly a possibility that, especially with Tech Lab and a reactor on the way, that Dream is going to be able to hold some sort of big Roach pressure here.
Now we're about to see how well Dream knows his builds. If he starts making Marauders, he's basically saying, all right, I see the potential, and now he sees the potential definitely because he sees the Roach Warren. There it is. He had to, I mean, I like the decision to scan. In fact, I actually talked about this a little bit yesterday on my show, that Terrans don't scan in TVZ as much as they should. And it's just for this very reason. Now he can start making Marauders, and he's got a good chance to hold this, despite it still coming pretty rapidly here. You know, with a Marauder in a bunker, you're still going to be in a pretty good spot against something like this.
Symbol wasn't going to stop the production, but he knows he's scanned now, so he immediately starts droning up evolution chambers, third hatchery on the way. So, I mean, he knows this isn't going to do any real lasting damage.
Yeah, he could kill, you know, a couple supply depots in a bunker maybe, but not a whole lot else than that. You know, it's not like a Ling Baneling all in or anything like that. He's just going to put some pressure on with the Roaches. And if he wants to, he can kind of just turn around and go too, because, wow, and he's definitely costing Dream a lot of mining time at the very least.
Yeah, but these Roaches going to find it very difficult to try and get anything done. Yep, already running away. One Roach goes down, and he'll occasionally poke up and test the front. Oh, actually has a nice position on the destructible debris over here, but still not getting a whole lot done at the moment.
Yeah, I almost feel like he's kind of trying to bait Dream to send his Marauders out to poke at those Roaches so he can try to snipe them, but at the very least, getting these rocks is going to make it a little bit easier for him to come in later. It's going to make Dream make a few more buildings there to finish his ramp. And back home for Symbol, he's getting upgrades, getting his third, getting his lair. So he's in pretty good shape still.
Yeah, and just powering ahead with creep spread. It's very impressive for just 9 minutes into the game. Looks like the destructible debris has gone down. Symbol clears it up, so he has another attack path that'll force Dream to put down a couple more supply depots, but not the worst thing in the world for him. Starport is finished up, so we'll start to see a good bit of medevac production here in Dream. Once again, moving into very well upgraded Marine medevac pretty quickly on in the game.
Yep. Now, last game we saw Hyun do essentially kind of an all-in. It was at +2/+2 Ling Baneling Muta attack that if it doesn't work, you're suddenly very, very far behind. But Symbol's not doing anything like that this game. He's playing for more of a longer game. He's getting his upgrades. He's getting Roach speed. Oh, he just did cancel it. I was about to be a little... No? He's getting Roach speed. Okay, so he's getting Roach speed with this. Also throwing down his infestation pit. So he's going to be playing a longer, more you know, macro-focused game. He's going to want to take this into the late game to a situation where he can get out those Ultralisks and Broodlords and try to just kill his opponent with that higher tier tech.
Well, good Bioforce coming out of Dream for now. Continuing to add on those Marauders as well for the time being. We'll see how quickly he wants to move into eventual tank production, but looks like he's content to stay off of that for a while. Overlord being so annoying. I like that he's continuing to hold position to make sure the creep gets as far as possible before he actually has to pull it away, so he'll deny the command center by another 13 or 14 seconds. Now, finally, Dream making his way up the map, picking off creep tumors. This is a pretty significant force that Symbol's going to have to deal with.
Yep, that's right. He's got Lings on the way. His Baneling Nest, though, is not done, and that is a bit of a concern. But, you know, potentially with Roach Ling, he might be able to hold it off. But it is kind of a dangerous thing, although Symbol looks like he's kind of, or Dream rather, looks like he may be considering going home. Yeah, he's like, all right, well, my opponent has his creep out this far. He's had plenty of time to prepare for what I've got. I'm just going to sit on the edge of this, kill off creep tumors, and I'm not going to press in all that far.
And he's done a good job of doing just that. Baneling Nest is finishing up, and our first 5 Infestors are on the way. With Hive Tech, pretty quick Hive Tech after kind of what happened at the beginning of this game for Symbol, but he is going to press ahead with that. 2/2 upgrades for those ground melee forces coming out as well.
Yep, and oh man, it looks like Symbol wants to go for it. No, swinging around the outside. He doesn't want to attack into that choke. Pulling back here, but the Roaches can't quite outrun the Marauders. One does go down, and Dream deciding again to just kind of drop in the main and just play a little bit more passively here.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to pull apart his opponent a little bit with some multitasking here. So Symbol reacting to this pretty quickly, and he will be able to clean up the entire drop, but all the creep tumors getting killed off to the right-hand side. Dream didn't decide to just go straight for the hatchery, though, so not going to be able to do a ton of damage to that. A few Zerglings being kind of sacrificed for the cause here, though.
Yep, that's right. So annoying for Symbol to have to remake that creep too. Oh, I don't like that, using some Banelings on the Marauders. I mean, they were weak enough that it didn't take a whole lot, but it still makes me very uncomfortable to see that. And here we go, Fungal Growth holding some of those units in place, but again, the Banelings not being all that effective.
No, Symbol messed up a little bit there, honestly, so as the Zerglings are going to go down, he ran all of his Banelings into Marauders while the Marauders were sitting there the entire time and just kind of face-tanking everything that came at them and picking off Infestors. So Dream handled that pretty well, Symbol not so much.
You know, he's going for Ultralisks because he never did put down that Spire for any sort of mutaplay. Unfortunately, though, for Symbol is that Dream already is making a ton of Marauders, so the effectiveness of Ultralisks is going to be pretty marginal in this particular situation.
Okay, well, Symbol transferring over some drones to the right-hand side, and he's going to be able to pick up on some of those. No, has to back up because Symbol does react in time. Pulling back now, of course, with that many Zerglings out and no tanks on the field, he does have the potential to make a huge round of Banelings, somewhat similar to what we saw Hyun do last time, and punish his opponent. But for now, okay, there we go. 11 Banelings coming up now.
Yep, he's going to do that and needs to kind of just force his opponent back a little bit. Nice Fungal trapping a lot of those Medivacs, but does he have the units to hold this off?
Banelings rolling through now, and they're not being targeted fired out this go-around. Finally going down, at least a few Marauders and Marines left over, and the Roaches are going to have to run away.
Yep, Dream pursuing here, taking out some more Creep Tumors, it looks like. 3-3 on the way, Chitinous Plating on the way, Adrenal Glands and Baneling Speed on the way, but it's not going to come in time to save this fourth base. If Dream wants to kill it, he should be able to take it out with very little trouble. And yeah, it is going down, and that's that.
So, Symbol ran away there. Dream going to try and get himself here on this high ground. It's going to prevent a lot of these Banelings from being able to roll through as efficiently as they could have. Eventually, everything here will get cleaned up, or so it looks like. Yeah, I mean, with the rest of the Zerglings that are now finally coming in, it will get cleaned up, but Dream has just been so cost-effective with this harassment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look at that.
And still just kind of pushing his opponent back. Ultralisks are on the way, and the Marauders are out. But here's the thing, is that Bioforce for Dream is a little bit small right now. If Symbol pulls back, bides his time just a little bit, gets that army really, really big, he's still got a chance to win this fight. But Dream, not in a bad situation at all. Denying that fourth while he took his own definitely helped.
Okay, well, unfortunately, this base not going to go up anytime soon. Dream just continuing to put on pressure. I mean, this is such an aggressive and fun brand of TVZ. This has worked out really, really well, and I think with this force, he may just be able to punch on through. There are Ultralisks out now, but as we said, you know, the Marauders are already in position. 2-2 upgrades are finished with 3-3 on the way. Going to be very difficult for Symbol to get anything done here.
Here we go. Wow, the Zerglings are actually going to be really good against those Ultras, and it looks like Symbol, he may have enough here to just crush through the army of Dream.
Yeah, the Ultra's taking quite a bit of damage there, and he's going to roll down in just a second. So turning things around just a little bit. A lot of supply tied up in Medivacs at the moment. Just need some bio units to complement that force.
Yeah, no, Symbol needs to be careful. I mean, he wants to do damage. He wants to make sure his opponent doesn't have a good economy, but he can't be sending out his units too quickly. He needs to make sure that he can win fights and get away if need be as well. He's still got a fairly small army, despite the fact that he did win that last fight.
Now, this is an awfully exposed base, though. Just an orbital command, no planetary fortress there. It is going to force move out of Dream. No, looks like he just gives it up, moves the SCVs away, and picks up the orbital command.
That was a smart attack to send the Ultras in first to see how Dream would react, and here we go. Fungal on a lot of those units. Banelings coming in and taking out a lot of stuff here, and Symbol once again looking like he has just enough to kill off the ground forces of Dream. The medevac count, though, is getting so high. The Fungals are not really doing any damage. They're just kind of holding units in place, but that may be all he needs.
What a weird game. Dream was doing so well before by denying bases. He was sitting on 4 bases while his opponent was on 3, kept macroing pretty efficiently. Overproduced medevacs, yes, but you know, really thought he was in a bit stronger position there. Looks like he's still in decent shape in this game, but Symbol certainly now, especially when this 4th and 5th base finishes up, going to be in a pretty good spot.
I actually kind of like the amount of medevacs that Dream has. When you go and Zerg players use fungal growth so frequently right now, one of the best ways to deal with that is just be able to simply heal through it with medevacs. Obviously, if there's banelings mixed in, that makes it a little bit tougher here, but I think Dream's main problem, well, aside from this army, which looks like Symbol is going to finish taking this army out. There we go, Fungal on some of those medevacs now, but I feel like Dream, you know, was maybe a little bit overly aggressive this game. He kept attacking, attacking, and when the time came, his army just didn't have the damage to deal with these Ultras, even with the 3 Marauders, and it's not so good when the Ultralisks are in your main base. Things looking pretty rough for our MVP player right now.
And it's just so rough to see. You know, I mean, there was a point in this game, yeah, he was quite over aggressive there, but it was, yeah, there it is, GG, and TSL actually just one game away from advancing, but it was just really rough to see that though, because Dream had put himself in a